Yo, what up? What's the haps? Welcome back, everybody. Let me see. Is this camera on all the way? Oh, no. No? Okay. Today we got something a little bit different. About to watch 10 weirdest foods eaten around the world, my friends. Around the world. Here we go. Don't mind me. Doing my thing. Thank you for coming back. Good.
Is certainly extensive. There are plenty of dishes out there that, for a variety of reasons, I simply won't touch. This hasn't. I really love to eat, but only to a point. While my palate is certainly extensive, there are plenty of dishes out there that, for a variety of reasons, I simply won't touch. This hasn't stopped other countries from digging into these recipes with gusto, though.
And I would not
You
eat
may
that
cringe,
shit.
but people around the world are simply licking their chops. We hope you've brought your appetite, because we're counting down the top 10 weirdest foods other countries love to eat.
Let's see them. Don't know what the fuck that is.
Not every strange foreign dish stands a good chance of murdering you, but there's still plenty odd to American taste buds. The Armenian soup called kash is just that. Kash is cow meat simmered in broth and liberally seasoned with garlic, salt, and lemon juice. That doesn't sound so weird, except the cow meat in question is from the hooves. Yes, to eat kash is to eat cow feet. Even stranger is how some chefs will add pieces of cow stomach to the mixture. It's all the parts of the cow that American steak enthusiasts tend to ignore, but Armenians swear by it. In their country...
I don't know, man. I'm not a fucking feet guy. If you ask me to eat some fucking cow feet, bro, I had pig's feet put on my fucking plate. Not eating that shit. I ain't eating pig feet, cow feet. I ain't eating feet. I ain't eating tongue. I ain't eating fucking brain. I ain't eating none of that shit. I ain't eating fucking stomach innards. I'm not eating none of it, dude. None of it. Take this shit away.
Kash is as much a ritual as it is a meal. Preparing it can take upwards of 2 days. After removing all the hair, a chef places the hooves in cold water for at least a day. This is to remove all possible dirt, impurities, and funky smell. After all, who knows?
It's a fucking foot.
Then you simmer the hooves in water for 8 hours, making sure to check in every hour to top off the water and prevent both the pot and feet from drying out. After that, you scoop out the broth and meat and serve. All the seasonings come later, added according to the diner's personal tastes. Making this long ritual even crazier is that kash is typically meant to be enjoyed in the morning as a hangover cure after a night of craziness and partying. So for a soup made of feet and stomach, chefs will often go without sleep to ensure it comes out perfectly. It kind of makes spending 10 minutes slaving over a hot George Foreman seem lame by comparison. Ever put food in the fridge and forgotten about it, only to find it months later when cleaning out the fridge? You wouldn't eat that, right? If it was halkudok, you would. Typically found in Greenland, halkudok isn't just any shark meat. Preparers usually use meat from the Greenland shark, which is highly poisonous due to all the uric acid and trimethylamine oxide. The only way to detoxify the meat is to ferment it, and this process takes months. First, you bury the meat in a shallow hole and cover it with gravel and large stones. This helps to remove toxic fluids from the meat, but doing so takes anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. After that, you cut the meat up into strips and hang it out to dry. It's another several months before the meat is dry enough to serve. Once it is, you remove the now browned skin, cut the meat into cubes, and eat. If you've never eaten halkudok before...
Honestly, dude, without seeing or hearing how the fucking shit was made, if I didn't hear how it was made and I didn't see like the process of them making it, that shit looked alright at the end, at the very end. Like that part right there looked like smoked meat to me. It looked fucking alright to me. If I didn't know how it was made and shit, I probably would have just fucking sampled that shit. But now that I know it's fucking fermented for like years, fuck all that. Put an X on my motherfucking bucket list.
4. Know what you're getting into. Fermented shark meat still contains a tremendously high level of ammonia, so the second you sniff it, you will likely gag, cough, and
and then I would have fucking died, because my dumb ass would have fucking tried it, like this fucking guy.
possibly dry heave. Those who get past the stench, however, insist the taste is far milder and is actually quite pleasant. So hold your nose and give it a go.
The fuck is that? Cockroaches?
The very name should be
Ticks.
enough to
That's
put
ticks.
anybody off this food.
That's
Stink
fucking
bugs are
ticks.
exactly what they
Oh,
sound
it's a
like.
stink bug.
Insects that give off a terrible scent. Much like skunks, stink bugs emit their smell when defending themselves. And
It's
even
cool,
if you
eat it.
like eating bugs, this might very well turn you off.
Honestly, every time I kill these motherfuckers, I don't smell nothing, dude. I smell nothing. Like, I kill them, there's no smell. I've never smelt the smell of a fucking stink bug. I've seen them, I just never smelt them. And I would never fucking eat them. Why?
Off to the idea of eating these particular ones. Even so, they're a popular snack around Africa and countries like Taiwan. They're apparently quite spicy, and people love to eat them both alone and mixed in with other foods. But worry not, for the spice doesn't come from the stink glands. When preparing the bugs for
No, it comes
consumption,
from its ass.
cooks do remove the glands. Not eating the stink might make eating stink bugs more palpable, except for one other issue. You may be eating these bugs alive. In Mexico, they use a species of stink bug called the humil, and this hearty little guy can survive upwards of a week after being
peanuts.
cooked and beheaded. So if you eat a taco sauce mix containing humil, there's a good chance those little guys are still alive and kicking. That fact might stink most of all.
Blood clams.
Chances are you've eaten clams. Perhaps you've eaten them raw, but have you ever
have you
eaten
eaten
them
a
so
blood
raw
clam?
it's still bleeding? Probably not,
Fuck
and
no.
for good reason. Blood clams, usually found around the Indian Ocean, are a particular kind of clam called Tegilaka granosa, most notable for producing tons of hemoglobin. This is the chemical that gives blood its lovely red color, and blood clams being loaded with them means when you open one, that stuff will spill everywhere. While you could theoretically boil most of this liquid away, doing so means you're not enjoying blood clams the way they're meant to. To fans of the dish, the rawness and bloodiness is part of the appeal, so most chefs will boil them for 20 seconds maximum. This keeps all the hemoglobin and rawness of the meat perfectly intact. Fans swear by the tastiness of blood clams, but even they can't deny the inherent dangers of eating such a dish. Since there's no prep time aside from an ever so brief boiling, all sorts of viruses and bacteria a blood clam carries are still there. So feel free to eat this meal, but no, dessert may be a heaping helping of hepatitis, dysentery, or worse.
Pass. White ant egg soup.
If you want a truly sensational soup, head to the Vietnam, Cambodia area and give white ant egg soup a shot. If you don't want to eat hundreds of ants at various stages of development, however, then maybe stay away.
Bro, I ain't even fucking tripping. When I was a kid, I used to eat fucking ants. I ain't even fucking tripping. Ooh, what this tastes like, huh? Nothing. I don't eat the white shit though. But I fucking tried to eat an ant before. I ain't gonna lie. I know like at least 5 or 6 times in my life I've tried to eat a fucking ant. I ain't gonna fucking like, huh? What? Huh? Still didn't taste it. Huh? Still didn't fucking taste the motherfucker.
True to its name, white ant egg soup is comprised of white ant eggs. If you eat it, fans
No, I'll
say,
pass.
the eggs pop open in your mouth and emit a sour flavor. So if Sour Patch Kids have lost their luster, try some ant eggs instead. But
No,
that's
I'm
not
good.
all. This soup also contains partial ant embryos as well as baby ants. So
The
no matter what
fuck,
stage of
bro?
development
I
you
ain't
like your
eating no
ants, this
fucking
soup has
nothing
got you
pop in
covered.
my mouth, bro.
Unless, of course, you're one of those
Good.
oddballs who like to chow down on adult ants. If that's the case, you'll just have to make your own soup.
An eyeball? I'm good.
While this dish may sound like something a child may invent, or perhaps an ingredient in a witch's curse, in Japan, tuna eyeballs are a real delicacy. A tuna's eyeballs are roughly the size of a tennis ball, so there's plenty to consume. When cooked, the outer part of the eye, called the sclera, becomes extra chewy and not particularly edible. However, the inside becomes quite soft and easy to drink if that's your thing. Despite many chefs sautéing the
Salty
eyeballs
as
with
fuck,
flavors
guaranteed.
like soy sauce and ginger, many people report the taste as kind of bland. It sounds
It's
like the
creamy.
rest of tuna is far more flavorful.
I used to cook for a little while. The place where I used to cook, fucking, we used to serve tuna and shit. We used to cut that bitch up. I tried the eyeball, I ain't gonna lie. It was alright. Creamy. That's all I'm about to say. Pause. Okay, pause. The motherfucker's alright. That's the same, bro.
If you still wish to try some eyes next time you're in Japan,
And let me say, it wasn't my idea. I was just feeling a little bit fucking outrageous that day. That's all I'm gonna say.
And make absolutely sure they're cooked. Some may say you can eat the eyes raw, but doing so risks contracting all sorts of bacteria. As other foods on this list have already proven, bacteria isn't a fun part of any dining experience, so please cook your eyes before consuming them. In addition, should you try tuna eyeballs, be sure to ask for its accompanying shot called tuna's tears. It's a mixture of strong spirit soju and raw tuna fish lens, and it's likely to bring a tear to your eye as well.
Uni.
There's a chance you've eaten uni at your favorite sushi restaurant, or at least
Never
seen
tried
it on
it.
the menu. But do you know what it is? If you answer it's a sea urchin, you're only partially correct. Uni is a sea urchin, yes, but there's only one part of the urchin that's even remotely edible. It's gonads. So if you order uni, understand you're about
Those
to eat
balls.
an urchin's raw testicles. Each urchin contains 5 gonads, but only a small amount of urchins sport the edible kind. So when you manage to eat uni, understand you're about to consume a rare delicacy. You'll just have
She
to
said.
get past the psychological aspect of exactly what you're eating. It's actually an
Yeah,
incredibly
don't call me that
versatile
shit.
food, and you can
Say
find
that
it served
much.
as sushi, sashimi, atop of bed of pasta or rice, or steamed in an eggy broth called chawanmushi. Or
Yeah,
if
like
you're
pudding.
particularly adventurous, you can simply crack open a uni like a walnut, scoop out the innards, and eat away. That is, if you're okay with eating a living creature's reproductive organs while it slowly dies in front of you.
Let me eat your balls right in front of you.
Millions upon millions
Fuck
of
that.
people enjoy sushi and sashimi, but most would turn and run at the extreme version of that, a Japanese dish
No.
called odoridon, where you essentially eat an octopus alive. To prepare odoridon, a chef will
The only reason why I want to eat that shit, cause I like to eat squid, fucking. I like to eat that shit. That's just fine with me. But I want to eat like that alive when that shit's like sucking and shit. Cause what if that shit goes down your fucking throat? That shit gets stuck, and you die. Cause you want to do some weird shit. Just fucking cook the damn thing, dude. Boil it. Fuck all that shit.
take an octopus or squid and chop its head off. Then they'll immediately place the raw
Besides, to
corpse
me,
upon a
that's
bed
just
of
inhumane.
noodles, rice, and salmon eggs. That's it. Then they bring the freshly dead
They'll eat you while
octopus
you're
to your
half alive,
table,
bro.
and it's time to eat. As you
Chop
might
your
have
fucking head
guessed,
off and
a
feed you the
headless
fucking
octopus
Godzilla.
isn't actually alive, but it might as well be, given how active its nervous system is. Pour soy sauce over the body and it will start to wriggle and shake. That's because the sodium in soy sauce activates the tentacle's neurons, which have not yet shut down, to come alive. These neurons stimulate nearby muscles and cause
Well,
them
that
to
shit kinda
contract,
look cool, though.
which makes it seem like your food is dancing around. So why on earth would anybody want to eat such a thing, you ask? To many, the sensation of eating something that's squirming inside your mouth is worth the night out. Despite how, if
Yeah, I
you're
know a
not
couple
careful,
girls like
it
that.
could be your very last night ever. That's because the still wiggling and contracting tentacles might just latch itself onto your throat as you attempt to swallow them. Quick reminder, the
Like
suction
I
cups on
fucking
these
said.
tentacles are incredibly strong. If it does this, you're likely to choke to death. Best to stick to calamari,
That's why I
in our
wouldn't fucking
opinion.
try that shit. Balut.
Eating roast duck
Balut.
is normal.
Mhm.
Eating duck eggs is also
Ay,
normal.
sus.
But balut, which is an egg with a duck embryo inside,
no
is
for
just
me, though.
plain bizarre. This off-putting Filipino dish is prepared by taking a duck egg and fertilizing it for several weeks. After about 3 weeks, the egg sports a well-formed fetus, complete with feathers, wings, and a beak. They then hard-boil the egg and serve it to the hungry party, who eats the entire embryo straight from the shell. While you may be cringing at the idea, rest assured that balut is not a dangerous food unless you choke on the beak or something. You're essentially eating a combination of duck and duck egg after all, and gaining all the calcium and protein from both. What's more, according to
Hell
local
no.
Filipino belief, balut is a great libido-boosting aphrodisiac. That's something to consider for your next dinner date. If you want to try balut, you don't have to worry about shelling out tons of money at a fancy restaurant. This is no rare delicacy, but rather a normalized snack you can buy almost anywhere in the country. Expect to pay about $12 for a dozen balut or $1 each. That's cheaper than a McChicken and healthier to boot.
I can't believe Balut
Everyone
was on the
likes soup,
first.
But not everyone is likely to enjoy fruit bat
that wasn't
soup.
number one?
It won't take long to understand why.
Nah,
to prepare
bro,
this
not like
so-called
that.
soup, which you mostly find in countries like Guam,
I
you
wouldn't
take
eat that
a
shit
wild
like
fruit
that, I'll
bat
tell you that
and
much.
boil it alive. Then you place the bat in a bowl with some coconut milk and a few vegetables. Then you eat it. That's
And
literally
get
it.
Corona.
Did you notice the recipe doesn't include instructions like debone the bat or remove the bat's hair or...
Does it come with a free vaccine shot, motherfucker? Cause shit, I would not eat nothing like that. What the fuck?
behead the bat. That's because you don't do any of that. You eat the whole bat. Wings, eyes, nose, brain, and anything else aside from the bones, and pluck the hair out of your teeth while doing so. Never mind that, when prepared this way, fruit bat soup sounds unbelievably bland. It's also unbelievably dangerous. Much like odoridon, the fruit bat ends up on your plate immediately after dying. Unlike odoridon, however, this was a wild bat that was only superficially cleaned prior to boiling. As such, it's still loaded with all the bacteria and parasites you may expect from a wild bat.
That's why we fucked up right now.
Eat this dish and you're asking all sorts of deadly diseases you simply can't get from a nice bowl of alphabet soup.
Because you want to be fucking outrageous. I can see in a survival situation, but not in no fucking regular situation where you just go eat regular food, bro. For real.
Hi.
Anyway, I'm happy they made they got balut on there though. I would never try it. I might be some Filipino, but I'm like what 30% Filipino. I'll still never try that shit. Fuck no. Nah, bro. I'm good. Anyway, man, if y'all like this video, yo, go ahead, like and subscribe, leave a comment, keep doing some more of this shit, man. Try to keep it up. Yo, get at me, it's your boy.